For what? Lillahi ta'ala, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you come to this definition, you will find basically two, according to the scholars, of the pillars of fasting. The rukun of fasting. And some other scholars say three. Those who say two, they say number one is al-imsak, and it is to abstain. To abstain from what? Food, drinking, and relation. And the second one is lillahi ta'ala, and that is niyat. So there are two pillars of fasting. Number one is to abstain, and number two is niyat. But some others say three. What are the third? They say specific time. And that is من بعد طلوع الفجر الثاني إلى غروب الشمس. From Fajr to sunset. If you have the intention to fast Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you don't eat, you don't drink, now but you eat from Zuhr to night, it's not fasting. So you have to fulfill the third requirements, and that is specific time that Allah has said in the Holy Quran. Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ الْخَيْطُ الْأَسْوَدُ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. This is the concept of Fajr to sunset. It's mentioned in the Holy Quran. So I was going to say there are three kinds of fasting. Pillars of fasting. Niyat, then imsak, to abstain from three things mentioned, and then the last one is specific time, and that is from Fajr to sunset. This is the definition. This is the requirements. Sure easy. But then there are some sunnah that we have to observe during the month of Ramadan. Before going to what invalidate, what makes your fasting invalid. There are some sunnahs that we have to take seriously. Because the Imam mentioned, for example, that doing any sunnah in Ramadan is like doing any obligatory. The reward is like doing fard. So doing nafilat is like doing fard. So it's very important that we take it very seriously. So there are some sunnahs that we have to observe. Number one is, of course, Qiyamul Layl is called Taraweeh, special Taraweeh, Salat Qiyamul Layl in the month of Ramadan. The word Taraweeh is not mentioned in any hadith. It's the ulama who gave that name. Basically, Taraweeh itself is nothing but tahajjud or Qiyamul Layl. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ. It just happened in the month of Ramadan, and it is named with special name Taraweeh. Why? Because it comes from Raha. It's kind of istiraha. Not hasten, not very quick like, running. Basically, you have to take your time and feel rest. The purpose of Salat al-Tarawih is to feel rest. Rest what? Resting in the Salat, resting into listening to the Quran. Not like, running and running and running. It's not resting. It's not the Tarawih. I don't say that those brothers who are doing it that is wrong. I just want to remind myself and all of us that the meaning of Tarawih is slow. Enjoy it. Taste it. There is a sweetness there. Listening to the Quran, we have, inshallah, this year here, we have, mashallah, good Qari leading us. Listen to him. Do not complain, because maybe some of us will complain, but you read too much slow. It's not our tradition. Brothers, take the hikmah wisdom. Every harf that you listen to him, just like you are reading it. And every harf that comes out of his mouth, it goes directly to your heart. If you just really, really observe it. Slowly listen, feel it, and it comes down to your heart. And that's why sometimes when we listen to someone reading the Holy Quran and impact our heart, affect our heart, because normally we try to understand what you read and we feel it when you read. That's what it affects others even. So it's very important to listen to him. So number one is Tarawih. Number two is eating Sahur. Sahur is called Sahur. Comes from Sahur, Yasharu, Sihrun, or Sahurun. Sihr also means magic. Why magic is called Sahur? Because it is not seen, it's invisible. Why eating in Fajr is called Sahur? Because in the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, there is no electricity. Most of the people eat invisibly. There is no light. And it's the beginning of the word Sahur. And the Holy Quran says, Prophet Muhammad says, tasahhar fa inna fi sahuri barakah. Take sahur because there's a blessing in it. But my point is that it is a part of a very important sunnah to do. But again, sunnah. Don't say that, oh, I didn't eat sahur, so I don't want to do fasting. No, it's just a sunnah. Sunnah which is very much encouraged. Called sunnah mu'akkada. Very strongly encouraged by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Very strongly recommended by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The next sunnah related to the sahur is do eat it as late as possible. As late as possible. Before time. Before the fajr comes. But don't wait until the fajr comes. Just before the fajr comes. So if you have like 20 minutes before fajr, before the azan, or 30 minutes before the azan, it's good. But the Prophet Muhammad normally stopped eating like 10 minutes before azan. Probably reading 50 ayah of the Holy Quran. So Aisha was asked, when the Prophet Muhammad started the imsak, he said, Tadra 50 ayah min al-Quran, like 50, reading 50 ayat from the Holy Quran before the Fajr. So he used to, let's say 10 minutes before the Fajr, try to stop it. In some countries, like Indonesia, they call imsak. And imsak here is not yet fasting, but not yet the time to do fasting, but they stop already. And that is like 10 minutes before the azan al-Fajr. Just to make sure that we don't eat during the azan anymore. It's kind of careful to be careful about it. Okay? So this is number 2. Eat as late as possible. Number 3, something related to the sahur is eat something light. Okay? I think the reason behind this is so that you don't fall into sleep. Maybe. Allahu A'lam. But my point is the Prophet Muhammad said, eat as light as possible. Because you may shock your stomach, and etc. etc. And then the next one I'd like to mention is during the daytime, read as much as the Quran. Certainly, Shahr al-Quran. Give charity. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was more generous in the month of Ramadan. And cleanse your mouth as much as you can by using miswak. But there are some issues here about using toothbrush with toothpaste. Is it possible or not? Certainly similar to when the scholars ask about rinsing your mouth with water. Can you do it or not? Yes, you can do it, but you have to be very careful that nothing goes down to your throat. Similar when you brush your teeth using toothpaste, just be careful that nothing goes down, because sometimes you feel like sweetness and it goes down to your throat. It may invalidate your fast. But you can take shower, but don't drink. Okay. You can swim, but don't drink. Okay. And there are many. Now, comes to the end of the day, among the sunnahs is number 1, breaking the fast is a must. Okay. Because that is the ending of fasting. And it's commanded in the Holy Quran, وَأَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ, and complete the fasting tonight means when the night comes, you have to break. So it is a must. Breaking the fast is a must. But there are some sunnahs related to the breaking the fasting. Number 1, break the fast as early as possible after the sunset. But not before the sunset. After the sunset. As early as possible. See the watch? Exactly according to the schedule, the sun set at 5. You see the minute 5? Bismillah. Bismika, what is the dua again? Allahumma laka sumtu, wa bika amantu, wa ala rizika aftartu, fataqabbal minni innaka antas samiul alim. There are some long version, there are some short version. Okay, read dua and eat. There is a sunnah to eat as early as possible. The second sunnah related to the breaking the fast first, rutab. Rutab is the date which is still yellow. How you call it in English? It's not yet. It's called rutab. The ripe date. Okay, the ripe date. But normally we don't have that much, unless you are living in California or in Makkah or Medina. Certainly Medina, of course. But in New York, it's difficult to find that. But sometimes you can still find it somewhere. Ripe date. But if you don't, that normal one, just normal date. And then the other sunnah related to that you eat with odd number. 1 is too little. Maybe when you add more, eat 3. If you eat more, 5. 7? That's too much. My point is add, add number. I think odd number. Sorry, odd number. I think 3 is okay. But sometimes it's too much too. So maybe 1. Okay, but that's what because Rasulullah ﷺ says, "Inna Allah witrun yuhibbul witr." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is odd, means Allah is 1 and He loves the odd number. Okay, and that's why when we break our fast, we eat odd number. The next one is, if you don't have this date, then drink milk. If not, then normal water. But the sunnah related to that too, do not directly eat heavy food. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to break his fast and then went to his salat, and after the salat he raised for a while in making zikr or dua, and then came back to his food. This is the opposite that we do sometimes. When we break our fast, we have lamb, chicken, fish, curry, chapati, everything else. Alright? And our intention is there really. Looks like we want to eat all this, but we are not able to eat just a little and we feel full. And that's why the best is, night means when the night comes, you have to break. So it's a must. Breaking the fast is a must. But, related to the breaking the fasting. Number 1, break the fast as early as possible after the sunset. Not before the sunset. After the sunset. As early as possible. See the watch? Exactly according to the schedule, the sun set at 5. You see the minute 5? Bismillah. Bismika, what is the dua again? Allahumma laka sumtu, wa bika amantu, wa ala rizqika aftartu, fataqabbal minni innaka antas samiul alim. There are some long versions, there are some short versions. You read dua in it. This is sunnah to eat as early as possible. The second sunnah related to the breaking the fast is date. Rutab first, rutab. Rutab is the date which is still yellow. How you call it in English? It's not yet. It's called rutab. Ripe, yeah, the ripe date. Okay, the ripe date. But normally we don't have that much. Unless you are living in California or in Makkah or Medina. Certainly Medina, of course. But in New York it's difficult to find that. But sometimes you can still find it somewhere. Right. Date. But if you don't get normal one, just normal date. And then the other sunnah related to that you eat with odd number. 1 is too little. If you add more, eat 3. If you eat more, 5. 7, that's too much. My point is add number. I think odd numbers. Odd number, I think 3 is okay. But sometimes too much too. So maybe 1. Okay. But that's what, because Rasulullah ﷺ says, Inna Allah witrun yuhibbul witr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is 1 and He loves the odd number. Okay? And that's why when we break our fast, we eat odd number. The next one is, if you don't have this date, then drink milk. No, normal water. But the sunnah related to that too, do not directly eat heavy food. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to break his fast and then went to his salat, and after the salat he raised for a while in making zikr or dua, and then came back to his food. This is the opposite that we do sometimes. When you break our fast, we have lamb, chicken, fish, curry, chapati, everything else. Alright? And our intention is there really. Looks like we want to eat all this, but we are not able to eat just a little and we feel full. And that's why the best is eat little and you make your stomach adjusted. That's the reason behind it. There's a health issue related to this. You don't choke your stomach. Break your fast, go pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so your stomach will be adjusted, and later on come back and eat your heavy food. That is the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these are some sunnahs. We can read more in some book, inshallah ta'ala. Everything in the month of Ramadan, as long as it's not excessive, is barakah, inshallah. Halal,